So if you want to see change, if you want victory, that means God has already started half the work. Because one of the two things is to will. So the fact that there is this desire for the soul to be transformed, for the life to be victorious, that desire means God is at work. But he not only is working with the will, he's working with the work, verse 13 says. It is God in you with the will and the work. He will work the desire and work with you as long as one thing is there. Verse 13 says, for his good pleasure. Oh, that's where we have a little problem. We want to work out as long as it's for our good pleasure. As long as it's for our good pleasure, as long as what I want, as long as it's for my blessing, as long as it's for me, as long as it's for me. Once God's glory gets subjected to your desires, the work stops. So what many Christians do is cut off the work of God and wind up only with their own human effort and wonder why I can't lift anymore. Because his pleasure is not part of this equation. That's why Paul says, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. The people who will see the power of God are those who are passionate about the glory of God, who make that a lifestyle orientation. That person will see God at work as they work. And when it gets too heavy, they will feel something come underneath the weight and begin to lift in partnership with them, because what you want and what he wants is the same thing. For his good pleasure. Now, his good pleasure is always for your good. So he hasn't left you out of the equation. He just doesn't want you to leave him out of the equation. And what's happened today is everybody's talking about what they want and rarely ask the question, what does he want? In passionate pursuit of his glory. Okay, so how do I get started? Look at 1 Timothy chapter 4. Verses 7 and 8. But have nothing to do with worldly fables. He says, let's get down to something that matters. And then he says, on the other hand, instead of that, discipline yourself for the purpose of godliness. Godliness is a lifestyle consistent with the character of God. For bodily discipline is only of little profit, but godliness is profitable for all things, since it holds promise, watch this, for the present life, for the life you're living right here and now, and also for the life to come. Well, that's the same thing Peter's talking about, being useful and fruitful now and having this glorious entrance into glory later. He says, discipline yourself for godliness.